Good evening. My name is Joshua Jackson. This is going to be a briefing on my leadership philosophy. Now, overall leadership philosophy, I'm going to go into some of the goals I have as a Troy student and for the future. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the characteristics that I find important in leaders, as well as my own personal leadership style. Um, Something that's really interesting to me that I didn't know Troy had until a couple of years ago was their own definition of leadership. And in this definition, they say that leadership is the art and the science of influencing positive transformations in people, organizations, and societies. And the part about this definition that really stands out to me is the fact that they call it an art and a science. So an art is something that's very personal, that takes a lot of emotion and something that you work on a very personal, individual level. And the science is something that could be worked on either individually or through group dynamics, and it's something that's very fluidic. And I'm a social science major, so the science part speaks to me greatly. But being that I'm a social science major, is it's the act of learning about social interactions, the art part is very important as well. Sorry about the background noise. There's a cat and a dog fighting. But the science nature of it means that it's never complete. There's always going to be something that can be learned, something that can be gathered from the act of leadership. And leadership's not a black and white definition. It's something that's going to grow. For me, I have grown greatly since coming to Troy University. I spent almost 20 years as a restaurant manager, doing all facets of restaurant life, and this is a big culture shock for me to come into being a student again. I did it when I was younger, but now it's just super important to me that I learn not only how to make myself better, but how I can make this world better for others. And that's a very important thing for a leader and just for any person. The characteristics that I find very important in leadership, I'll use the analogy of a baseball skipper. This is a baseball bat that I have signed by Terry Francona. He was the manager of the 2004 Boston Red Sox, the team that broke the curse. And one thing that sets a baseball manager apart from, say, a football coach or a basketball coach is that they are in the uniform. They're on the field with the guys. A first base coach is going to be standing there right next to whoever's on first. That's how they do it. It's much different. The look, the feel, everything is different because they are doing, and they're not just a standing on the sidelines directing. They are doing, and that's really important to my leadership style, which I would be characterized as like a strategic leader. I want to be in there. I don't care if I had a company with 500,000 employees. I would want to get to know as many of them by name as possible. I would want to be in the trenches. When I was a restaurant manager in a former life, I used to make sure that I was the one that cleaned out the toilets if there was an overflow or something like that, because I never wanted to ask someone to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And those are the kind of jobs that no one wants to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do them. And I think that that's very important for a manager. They need to be able to not only show and instruct and cultivate the ability to do things, but they need to do things as well. You have to be a doer, not just a teller. You don't want to just be a director or a teller. You want to be able to get in there and do what needs to be done for every individual part of your team, because a team is led, not pushed. Now, you're not just standing behind them pushing them. You should be leading them, and you lead from the front. Today I've gone over a few things about my leadership philosophy, a few goals that I have as a Troy student and as a person. Talked to you about a few characteristics on management styles and management characteristics that I felt good about. And I want to leave you with one last little part, and that is leaders do not tell, they do. Be a doing leader. Thank you, and have a great day.